Disney's Robin Hood is probably one of the greatest Disney movies of all time. I would say it's definitely in the top five. And Super7 is one of my favorite toy companies. So when the two joined forces, we know we were going to be in for a good time. So let's open this up. We have our Fox Robin Hood Super7 Ultimates figure in classic Super7 Ultimates form. They're in a brown box, then there's a bag inside, then there's another package inside, then you remove the sleeve. Lots of packaging goes into this, but it's a high-end figure, so you kind of deal with the exercise of going through it all. So the case itself, it looks like it's a piece of wood with some arrows in it, because Robin Hood is our favorite archer. And there's the reveal of all of the goodies that he comes with. So we've got some swappable heads, swappable parts. He's got his stork outfit when he kind of went undercover to enter Maid Marian's competition so that he could win the hand of the fair Maid Marian. But he had a price on his head. And there's the wanted picture for him right in the back. I'm not sure that's the actual one they used. That's a very charming wanted poster. I don't think the Sheriff of Nottingham would have done much good if they put something there. So there's a sticker on the bottom. So let me just cut this open so that we can see our figure. And you can probably open these from the top. I like doing it from the bottom. I don't know why. It just seems easier to slide it in and out. So that's just my style with the Super7 Ultimates figures. Alright, and there we go. And it looks like in the back behind the figure we've got all the swappable hands. And the actual background itself is a target for his arrow. So if he wants to practice a little bit, then we've got a target already for him. Alright, so where do we start with him? So we've got his alternate bottom for when he's in the crouched up on the stilts for the stork. We've got an arrow on a pillow. We've got two swappable heads. We've got various bows and arrows. So he is fully loaded. This is an Ultimates figure. The accessories are probably beyond anything I've seen. Most of the Ultimates I have are the Thundercats ones, which come with their just standard weapons. So there's not too many other accessories that they can come with. But this one is fully loaded. You're essentially getting two figures with the stork outfit and the Robin Hood. All you need is another body with shoulders and arms, and then everything else looks like there's swappable parts in there. So let's free our Fox Robin Hood. It looks like he's just got one piece of tie on him. There we go. So we'll just get his legs and try to get him out of there. And so it looks like his tail is broken. Yeah, it looks like it snapped off, which I'm a little bit disappointed in that. That seems yeah, I'm not too happy about that. Yeah, it looks like it snapped off where it was supposed to be articulated and fit in there. I could probably fix it with some crazy glue. It looks like where it snapped, it's not too big of a deal. So for display purposes, I'll be able to put that on. He won't be able to wag it as much, but I'm sure there's other ways. He could smile when he wants to show that he's happy. But as far as the packaging goes, it looks like it was intended to be well protected in there. It's got a little alcove for it. Perhaps maybe something hit it from the back during shipping. I don't know if as I was taking it out, if I got dislodged and snapped, but I didn't put too much pressure on it, so I don't think it was as I was pulling it out. And so here's his alternate. I'm just going to continue on. His alternate body, he's got what's supposed to be the articulated tail from the other one as well. And he's got his chicken legs, even though they're kind of stork legs, kind of crouched up. And we just pull that off, and then it looks like it just slides right on. So that's his swappable lower half. And that's the only articulation on this is the tail and the waist. The legs in themselves don't move, so you'll probably be able to move them when you put the little feet on the stilts on. And as far as articulation here, we've got the elbows and the wrists, and you can move around a little bit. And we got pretty good neck articulation. He could look around. It's good for scoping out where he's going to be aiming his arrows and winning some competitions in some lady fair's hand. All right, and then This is his swappable head with the arrow through the head. He's in shock and awe that he came so close to losing his life with an arrow through the head. It looks like the arrow is supposed to be straight. It is kind of crooked. I think it's the type of plastic. It's perhaps my figure got messed up during shipping or packaging, but yeah, the arrow looks like it's also kind of messed up. And from the case itself, it doesn't look like there was any pressure put on it, so I'll see if I could straighten that out. But yeah, not quite straight. All right, so let's see what some of the other accessories comes with. A nice arrow on a pillow that he is looking to win, a symbol that he is the best and that he deserves to claim the hand of Maid Marian. And here is his weapon of choice, his bow to which he fires his arrows. And it looks like it'll slide in the bottom right here. And there we go, and then slide out the top. All right, so that is a super loose grip. He is not actually able to hold his bow with this hand. Perhaps these other hands could hold it, so let's pop them out real quick and see what we can do with those guys. All right, so this guy's got a little thumbs up. It's a little bit of a smaller grip on there, so I'm assuming it is for the arrows, not or holding the string for the bow, but not actually for the bow itself, which means that this hand that he comes packaged with is the hand he's supposed to hold the bow in. So let's put that in the other hand. Maybe that one's a tighter grip. So nope. All right. So just reviewing what I have so far: a broken tail, a bent arrow, and a bow that he can't hold. So far starting off pretty rocky. I'm not going to take the arrow out of there because now I'm concerned that if I try to take it out, it's just going to snap or break. So I'm going to just leave it in there and probably cut it out later. So now he's got his extra arrows that he can put on his back. The same plastic as the other one. It's a little bit softer, so they're bent a little bit. So I can just carry that around. I'm sure you could pop his head off and put it over his shoulder if you want him to hold it a little bit tighter. But I'm not going to be displaying them with these, so I'll probably just put those in storage. So I'm not too into those. And here are his custom-made arrows made out of just branches that he uses as a stork. And let's free his other accessories. And yeah, I'm just going to leave that arrow in there, and probably the same one on the other side. Just let that do its own thing. But we have the legs we're going to take out. So these are the ones on the stilts. So when he's in his costume, storks are a much taller bird. They've got those very long legs. So he needs those if he's going to be disguising himself. So no one knows he's a fox. He outfoxes them, as you say. All right, so let's see. Get these legs, and there's little pegs on there that look like they go in. I think this is the right foot. So we'll just plop that in there. I'm very hesitant to put any pressure on anything. I don't want to break them. So especially the stilts on the legs are very thin, so I don't want to pop those off if I'm pushing in, or the pegs at that keeps them together. All right, so then we've got those. There is, it looks like, one point of articulation on the ankles. So they can either go side to side, but then they can't really go front to back. So actually having them stand is a little bit difficult. It seems like an interesting ankle design. They can go side to side so that they can stand apart and be flat on the ground, but then they won't necessarily be able to go front to back, so it kind of stands off-centered or wobbly. Interesting articulation design. But yeah, I might be overly critical right now because of the other issues that I've had with the figure right now. So perhaps I would have overlooked something like that had I not been opening up a broken figure. But that's okay. I'm going to continue on as if nothing else was wrong. So let's take a look at our stork outfit. I'm being very careful removing him. just to make sure we don't break anything. He's got a nice little flower on his hat, which is a thin plastic, so we don't want to break that. He's a happy little guy right there. So for these, we pull off the head, and then we can find the other head and put it on. So we've got a nice little ball, very typical swappable head. So we just put a little pressure on it, and there we go. And then we could swap out. Looks like I did not pop in all the way. So we'll put his body on, and he is, let's see if he's easier to stand when he's got his full, the full weight of his body, so we know what's going to make him stand. Actually, it's not actually so bad. We can make this work. Yeah, there we go. So you just kind of angle them a little bit, and then you can get them to stand. So now let's put on his stork head, and that did not feel right, and his hat broke. All right, so this is probably the most disappointing figure for a high-end, high-quality figure. To already have two things breaking it just by taking it out. One thing already bent, and he can't hold his weapon. This is highly disappointing. And Super7 is a great company. Quality control is fantastic. The Thundercats figures, the Ninja Turtles figures, I've got a ton of them, never had any issues. There's just, this figure is just not very good. So I'm probably not going to continue playing around with it just because I don't want to break any more of it. Everything right now is so far fixable with some crazy glue. So I'm not going to chance breaking his wrist, but this looks like it just pops out and then slides into the peg. And then we've got his jacket that he wears so that no one sees his fox body. And it's a nice cloth good, nothing fancy or special about it. So we've got the wide wrists over here that this goes in. If it pops into the arms, then he kind of has the longer stork wings. But yeah, probably not going to have him in that just for fear of breaking it. And then the tail, I have to fix that, but it's a really cheesy plastic. Like, from a quality perspective, this is something you'll get in like a 99-cent store toy versus the Super7 plastic that they normally use on their figures. I'm not sure why they went with the different, harder plastic for just the tail. It seems like that was destined to break. I'm not a toy designer. I'm just a humble collector, but I would not have used that plastic for that tail. And it's the first time I've ever done this, but this figure gets a thumbs down. Thanks for watching.